Oh, God.
Howdy and aloha, everybody. This is James with Mono Talk. Thank you for being here. Good to see you, Mark, and everybody else in the chat, because everybody's here right now. Look, I don't do this for T-shirts or coffee cups or super chats. I actually like Jimmy, like Ron, like Graham, like Combo, like Steve, Slow News Day, like everybody else. I care, like Nico. Like we all give a crap, whether you're helping to support the channel or not. We care. We want things to be better for everybody, and it's just not looking that way, man. It's just looking worse and worse and worse. I gotta fix. Wait, let me fix this picture. It's just not big enough. Try to get that. There's a way to separate that. I'll figure that out one day. So anyway, I wanted to go over something really quick right here. Nope, not that. I gotta stop that. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so I'm just going to kind of dive right in. And I put this up the other day. Not the other day. I just put this up recently, actually. And I thought it was a wonderful picture. I thought it was a wonderful, wonderful picture or a meme that I created, right, that I need to get. Oh, I got to fix that. Just give me a second. Loving that. All right, there it is. Yay. Okay, and the meme says, right? Tell me this chick wasn't tickled pink today. This piece of crap, right? I've got a picture. I sent it to you, right? Yeah, it's Bill and Hillary out there during the inauguration, and Bill goes, "Well, And she goes, Trump bent over and took the deal. Kamala will be POTUS in about a year after we dump this moron. Assange can't fuck with you / us. And we're following the Great Reset plan perfectly. And then she goes, stop staring at that teenager, you perv. Right? And I mean, seriously, we all know if you're, like I've always said, if you're digging deep and you're in the Marianas Trench, you know right now that these foundations, the Clinton Foundation, the Obama Foundation, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, MacArthur Foundation, all these foundations are just set up for tax loopholes, and all this other shit, so they can sponsor, and a lot of this money and campaign finance goes through them and goes straight into these shitheads' campaigns, and they put into place the people they want so they can continue their reign of power. It's just the way, and by the way, it happens on both sides. If you think it doesn't, then you're really missing the point, because it happens on both sides. That money, those lobbyists, those super PACs, the 1%, etc., all that money goes through Citizens United, McCutcheon versus FEC. All of it does. It goes straight to them. It's not a big deal. You it's simple. It's just a way to funnel all the oligarchic predator class the plutocracy of the shower and waterfall and tsunami of money to get these people into these offices via mainstream media, marketing, advertising, publicity, branding, the whole 9 yards. And the sad thing about it is most of us I'm not talking about you guys, because I know you guys are much smarter than that. You buy it. I mean, the other day I had a buddy who's been fighting with me over COVID, and everything he shows me, well, CNN said this. Well, MSNBC said this. I mean, even Fox said this. And I'm all, well, if you're getting if you're getting your perspective from the same people that don't work for you, because you're not paying for their $1,000,000 or $100,000 salaries to be supposed reporters and journalists and pundits, they don't fucking care about you. They're doing whatever they can and say for the people that give them their advertising money. And as long as they can create enough content to where it's exciting or troubling or fearful enough, or it hits people emotionally to keep people glued to their TVs and these fucking disgusting mainstream media outlets and publications and social sites, right? Social web pages and websites. They're going to steer you where they want you to be, and it's not for you. It's just not for you. Coming right down to the fucking wire, it's just not for you. Anytime you want to chime in, just say, shut the hell up, Jimmy, and I want to say something right now. And so basically...
Well, let's just go ahead after you're done. Go ahead, finish. Sorry.
No, you were going.
Well, I just wanted to check in with chat. So we've got Mark Jason Walker. Hey, yep. We're in Whoville. A1 and A2. Hello. Who else? Tay Ray. Hey, good to see you again. Yeah. Mark Jason Walker says, we love being slaves. I mean, it seems like it. It really does. I mean, it's like we'd rather be just blissfully unaware and slaves to the system rather than being mildly uncomfortable and realizing how badly we're being fucked over right now. Because it makes us feel sad, so we can't, we're going to block it out. We're just going to watch Rachel Maddow or, whoever, it's bad.
You got to have your feel good. Every once in a while, you got to have your feel good segments, they don't just talk about negative stuff. They talk about, the philanthropy and the
Yeah, yeah.
philanthropy and the philanthropy, which
Oh, and the uplifting stories like how a 16-year-old, worked at McDonald's for a year to buy his disabled brother a wheelchair, those kind of uplifting stories.
right? Yeah, or that lady that was working at the age of 88 years old. And it's an uplifting story to see this 88-year-old lady trying to feed herself by having to fucking work. By having to work. And this is the feel good story. She's out there and she's working, and she, of course, she's saying, "Yeah, I like being this," but wouldn't she rather be sipping a martini, at a poolside bar on the island of Kauai? I mean, wouldn't she rather be spending her retirement, maybe planning or hanging around, working with her grandkids, doing something else? Of course, working is cool. You want people feel they want to have purpose, etc.
But I mean, I'm 33 and I would love to take that option, right? Like send me to a beach somewhere and not have to work, not have to worry about, that kind of thing. But I couldn't even imagine like 80 some years old. I would like hate the world if I still had to work and deal with all that just to survive.
I think all of us are going to have to.
Oh, it's going to be, yeah. I mean, they keep up in the age of retirement and our life expectancy keeps getting lower. So at some point we're just going to, work until we die.
This could you thank you for hitting your mic.
That
Yeah.
for that uplifting message there.
Yeah, I know. More uplifting messages from James and Stevie for Red Economics and Montauk. It's the point is if you knew what's really happening, it would shock the fuck out of you. I know for a fact there are people out there right now that all things bright and beautiful, they're okay in their own little world, in their own little bubble, where the rest of the fucking country goes to shit and hell in a fucking handbasket. That's what's happening. And this is the sad part about what a lot of people think like. It's not, I wouldn't say it's cognitive dissonance because they're not really trying. Cognitive dissonance is like you're watching a football game or maybe you got nerve deafness and you don't want to pay attention to your wife who's telling you to fucking take out the trash, right? This is willfully trying to block out some facts, some data, some documents, some information, things that people are trying to tell you that, hey, you're being played like a fucking kazoo, right? But you just don't want to hear it because you don't want to feel, some people just don't want to admit that I'm ignorant. I'm naive. I've been there. I've been dumb. I've been stupid. I hit that point every once in a while. As a matter of fact, you guys have probably seen me hit it far too often. But what I'm saying is that same brick when it comes to politics, when it comes to these supposed public servants, I am fucking watching you. I am keeping, because you are going to dictate the future of my life, my kids' life, and so on and so forth. So I am going to pay close attention, not just you on the surface, but I'm going to see where your money's come, how it's getting to you. I'm going to see what you're voting on, how you're voting, where you're naysaying or yay saying or no showing, or what the fuck you're really doing. Because it matters to me. Because if it matters to me, it's going to matter to my kids and theirs and so on and so forth. So if you're in that place where I'm at and you're doing your due diligence and chickadee checking yourself before you wreck yourself and making sure that you're getting all the information for both sides of the aisle, down the aisle, around the corner, by the popcorn stand, wherever, okay, before you're watching their show in the main theater, you need to find out what's going on. And the thing is I'm doing that. I know Stevie's doing that. I know that Ryan Christensen's doing that. I know that Derek Brose is doing that. Conscious Resistance. I know that Whitney Webb is doing that. Right? I know there's a lot of people out there that are really, really digging deep. James Colbert, he's digging deep. Jimmy digs kind of deep. He's still kind of hanging out on the surface, Jimmy Dore. But he hasn't really done anything that's going to get him pulled. I mean, let's be honest. He hasn't really said or done anything that's going to get him complete. I mean, you can cuss and swear and be pissed off and, and all this other stuff, but there's so many other things happening out there, Jimmy Dore. There's so many other things happening out there, Kyle Kalinske. There's so many other things happening out there, Mike Figueroa with Humanist. There's so many things happening out there, David Dore with the Rational National. There's so many fucking other things happening that would that either and you're refusing to go over or talk about or bring up, or you're just naive to it. But I'm listening. I'm listening to that side. I'm listening to this side. I'm listening under the table, around the corner. I want to know what's going on everywhere so I can make my own decision. Thank you very much, Tony Welch. Jimmy stays in the safe lane. He's in the safe lane, right? Me, I'm driving. I'm passing up everybody. I'm driving the emergency lane. I want to find out what's fucking going on, right? I am off-roading. I am running through houses. I probably could actually run through a house if I tried. But the thing is I'm going to make sure that the information I use is going to help to benefit not just myself, but my loved ones and the people I care about. That's my goal. That's my goal. And I know it is his, but there's so many things that he's not talking about. I know Convo Couch is being super deep right now, right? Oh, yeah, they're fucking going off. I know Nico jumps in for sure. That's cool. I know that freaking Roar Media is coming up and doing really a great job and bringing a lot of information out. I know that Steve and Glory, oh, my God, those guys are fucking right. They're like right with us. I get his tweets. We talk. We say all kinds of shit. Fucking dude is hilarious, but he's spot on. Right? Just clever as a clever. And there's so many others out there that are doing so much more that I'm sorry I'm not bringing up. But I want to say this. We're at a time, and this cartoon clearly says it. I mean, this meme, right? There's a great reset happening. Right? They're taking over land. I mean, Bill Gates just bought all the fucking farmland, pretty much more farmland than anybody on the fucking planet in the United States. So say goodbye to real food, right? Because Monsanto is going to jump in there, right? How is this even fucking possible? There's so many things that these billionaires, or possibly soon trillionaires, will start to do. And when you think of billionaires as being individualized, they're not. They're not really against each other, because once you get to that point, there's 650 billionaires out there, give or take a few, right? And I would say the majority of them all have a bat phone to each other. I guarantee it. They all know what's going on before anybody else does, because they make sure that your public servants are doing what they want them to do. And they'll know it before anybody else is. I mean, to be honest with you, we're playing catch up. We're constantly playing catch up, right?
I mean, we're playing defensively when we should be playing offensively. We keep reacting to the things that they're throwing at us instead of getting ahead of that. But it's kind of hard to when you're homeless, or you're the working poor, or all these different things that they do to us for us to react to, instead of actually creating something to react to, instead of us getting together and actually coming up with a way to divide and conquer our ruling elite. But instead we're just trying to stay alive at this point.
It's like we're reactionary. And the mass confusion and distractions, it's never ending. It's just that it shouldn't be that way. We should know what bills are coming up. We should know what laws are going to be passed. We should know what's going to be put on the floor before they do. It's completely and totally backwards. If you watch our previous video, we're talking about creating our new process for voting. It's kind of like a makeshift exit poll in a sense that we'll be watching ourselves to compare to the shit that CNN puts out, the shit that Fox News puts out, the shit that PBS or whoever puts out, NPR bullshit, AP bullshit, right? Whoever else is out there putting out bullshit figures, we'll be able to compare them and say, nah, it doesn't look like, because it looks like this fucker's blowing everybody's doors, and he's an independent, or he's with the Green Party, or he's has nothing to do with your parties at all. You know, this is the goal. This is the goal. Anyway, we want to leave the parties. They're fucking stupid. They weren't created to help you. They were created. The parties were created so that when people started to get together to organize, what would happen is they'd put a label on that group, and then they would be able to come in and compromise them with money, favors, offers, and get them to steer towards them. And sadly, a great example of that is Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter the cause. Just a second. The cause of social justice is very important. I'm brown. I've witnessed and been a part of racial injustice when I was a child, when I was older, right? I've been in a place where they wouldn't serve me or my grandfather because we were brown. I've been there. I've been harassed. I've been abused in a sense because I'm big. There's nothing like a little white police officer likes, and I'm not saying all of them, but to take down a big Samoan guy. Ooh, I took down this big Samoan guy today, man. It was fucking awesome. It's like, you know what? I get it. You're just trying to feel good for that day, but actually you're just abusing the authoritative power that you have that I give you, because you're supposed to be protecting and serving me. Okay, but anyway, so there's just so many things that, and I need to get rid of this picture. Go ahead. You were going to say.
Well, get rid of the parties. That's why we need to get rid of all these. There's all these different ways that they chip away at our power that we have. Our employers take a chunk of it. Our politicians take a chunk of it. The parties take a chunk of it. The way that they've designed the system is that we're constantly giving away like little pieces of our power at a time. And so, and that's why I had this girl on the other day, Shelley Carter, and we were talking about direct democracy, and she sent me a video about direct democracy. It was an interview with Mike Gravel, and he was talking about, how it doesn't matter what party you start. It doesn't matter how good your intentions are. All parties always end up corrupt. And so he created this plan for direct democracy, which, is pretty awesome. If you want to check it out, it's ncid.us. But it's basically just you taking your power back. It gives people the way of, creating your own laws, basically, and cutting out the corrupt middleman. So.
Wasn't there more about 65 million people we needed?
Yeah. Well, they were trying to do it through like a petition, or go sign a petition. They wanted 65 million people. I mean, I'm not a big advocate for petitions, but you know what? It's not going to hurt to sign it either. So, I mean, but that's something we should definitely be focused on. Is not. I don't care how we get it. We need to get it. Like, we need to take that power back, and because the people that we've given it to, the parties, the politicians, our employers, everybody that's taking a chunk of it is abusing it and using it against us. And it's just, as long as we keep giving them power, they're going to keep abusing it. I mean, no matter what party it is or who it is.
Yeah, it's definitely time to stop this bullshit and let them start to realize that, hey, we're just not going to fucking take it anymore. We're mad as hell. We're not going to take it anymore. I know I hate that whole cliche fucking thing, but it's really that simple, everyone. It's like super that simple. So protest, march, get out there, do the things you need to do, get rid of your party. Just unregister say I'm fucking independent, or just don't be a part of any more parties anymore. Let them know that there's a mass exodus away from the party system, and let them know that we're starting to create our own, in a sense, voting practice, our own voting system, our own exit poll to compare against what's probably going to be bullshit anyway in the future. And that's what we're looking at. I mean, because Trump pretty much bent over. I mean, what the fuck happened to Stop the Steal? I mean, I've been watching that closely, and I know Convo Catch has, and Steve, Slow News Day, Negro House, everybody's fucking watching it. But nothing happened. That took a dead stop. It was like all of a sudden it just vanished and disappeared. Trump started to stop talking about it, and just basically, from what and I have Republican friends, and I have independent friends, and I have Democratic friends, and I have Green friends, and I have people that I know for all over the place. But the bottom line is, the guy fucking just basically said, fuck off. I got my deal. Fame and fortune. I'm going to be fine. Fuck you. That's what he said. And all these people on the Republican Party, hashtag traitor, hashtag motherfucker. I mean, just, they're pissed. So this is the opportune time to say, you know what, fuck these parties, because they're not doing shit for you guys. They might give you a little something here or there, maybe you're kind of happy, just to smooth things over. Yeah, good. But it's never going to be what we've been fucking needing for decades. For decades. Let me show you this other pic real quick. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so look, I love what the movement for a People's Party is trying to do. But when you write stuff like this, right? Oh, God, I just lost it. There it is. Here, let me bring it back up again. There it is. Okay. Oh, I got to get my glasses on. Where's my fucking glasses? Okay. All right. It says, and this is Ryan Knight. He's second on the totem pole with Nick Brana. And I'm not putting these guys down. I'm just saying you can't in any way praise or have any positive outlook with the people that have just screwed you over in these elections, or just screwed you over in regards to these lockdowns, or just screwed you over in regards to these vaccines that they're going to fucking make mandatory, which I'm going to play you here pretty soon. But he says this: congratulations, AOC. He's kind of being facetious. You've built a following with who will go after anyone who calls on you to fight for the policies that you campaigned on. I disagree with some of the rhetoric people have used. I don't know if he's talking about Jimmy Dore, et cetera, whoever. And I don't think you're a fraud. I mean, this is from his heart, right? I don't think you're a fraud. But you're not above scrutiny. No politician is. Right? And then I said, and I had to say something. I said, when it comes to you or them, it's always them, Ryan. AOC is the predator class corporate governance tool, just like all of them. Run away. But he continues. So I said, you know what? And Stevie brought this up, and I had to put it in here. I'm just laughing. This is the way AOC used to mealy mouth herself around Speaker Pelosi just a few years ago. I know you guys remember how she used to bag on Nancy and say all these really somewhat mean things here and there. But when it came down to it, she became who? Mama Bear. Right? There is no way that you can say that AOC is not a fraud, because she is. She's just like the Justice Democrats became fucking full neoliberal Democrats, and they continue to pose like they are. And when I hear these Bernie-crats that are still out there, like Bernie actually has fucking power. Look, I had blisters passing out this guy's flyers and pamphlets going door to door in Southern California back in 2015, 2016. And I really believe this was the guy that was going to do it. And he had hundreds of thousands of people at his rallies. They were gigantic. I had to work and I couldn't make most of them, but I still campaigned for this guy. And then when it came convention time, middle of July 2016, he had his opportunity to contest. He could have said, I contest. But I guess Obama talked to him or somebody earlier that day and said, you know what, don't do it because we got other plans for you. You're just going to be our cattle herder for the DNC. Sure enough, he fucking just flaked. And you could see it on his face that he fucking, it's not like he was, if you had so much fervor and you had so much fight in your breath and your tone as he stood up there and he kept screaming and yelling. And then one day when it came go time where they're either going to commit or not, Bernie fucking bent. And then he did what, like 37 rallies for Hillary Clinton? I mean, what the fuck? He just got hosed through that entire primary. I mean, all their paper trail states had an insurmountable amount of proof that he had been screwed, and it's like he's not even paying attention to it, right? And he even kind of brought it up. You had Donna Brazil, when Jordan Sheraton was actually doing something positive for the people, got that out of her mouth. We fucking planned it this way. And then Debbie Wasserman Schultz fucking clearly indicated to everybody we do it our way and this is the way we do it. And then she cheated Tim Canova out of an election. That was rigged. And everything has been rigged. So how would they not do the same thing coming up in the general? If they could get by with it, like Steve said, and we've been agreeing about this forever, nothing happened to them. So you know what? They said, let's go big this time. Let's put our biggest puppet on the stage, Joe Biden. Sure enough. And nobody fucking liked him. Nobody fucking... The only person that actually I thought was kicking ass in the beginning of those primaries, and you guys know this too, was Tulsi Gabbard. And then all of a sudden she just fucking said, see ya. Right? Oh, I'm supporting Biden. It's just wrong. So for him to say she's not a fraud, or even mention the word congratulations in the same sentence while you're talking about AOC, and then he goes, no politician is against scrutiny. Right? Are you either you're afraid or you're just trying to jump on their bandwagon? Bottom line, either you're afraid or you're just trying to be a part of that system. That system is the system that's been screwing us forever. Nick, Ryan, Jimmy, Stephanie, Ron, everybody. This is the system that has been fucking everybody over for this long. And we're not going to do the party thing anymore. Fuck you. We're going to be independent. We're going to fucking vote ourselves. Fine, come after us. If you want us to join your party, come after us with something. And Jimmy's been saying this. If you want our vote, okay, then you need to commit. What was that thing called? The SAFAR, the CFAR, the CFAR? Commit to something on paper. Sign it. Have an attorney. If you don't do it, you're fucked. You're going to jail. Whatever. But it's not going to happen, guys. It's not going to happen. That's all show. That's all dog and pony. That's all snake oil salesman shit. It's all show and no go. So where they're going, I don't like it. And sure enough, it's not a matter of if, but when a party becomes, or a group or a movement, and when it comes to a party, becomes compromised. Unless you're your own party. You're your own body. You make your own decision. I mean, let them try to convince you what's best for you, and then you make your own decision. Don't you have that ability? Can't you decipher what's best for you? Do you have to go with their pathetic, disgusting platform? Or vote for their disgusting, lame-ass, fucking moronic, dementia piece of shit stooge? Right? I mean, can't you make up your own decision? Aren't you an adult? You need somebody to hold your hand? I mean, I hate to say it like that, but that's the truth. You have to be, you do that all day long. You make decisions, you make you prioritize things, you make sure all your decisions are important, and you should be doing the things that should be done to make sure that you're surviving. Well, can't you make a decision about the future of your nation, the future of your planet, the future of the people that are on the planet and all of its inhabitants? I think you can. What is this? Nah, they're all gerbils. Yeah, they're all hamsters, bro. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I look. When I hear people, I heard Graham saying, "Fucking Democrats." No, I don't want to say shitty things about somebody that's been manipulated by a very powerful marketing, advertising, publicity uh, product out there, a system. It's hard. It's tough. When somebody comes to me and they say, MSNBC said this, or Fox News was saying this, or whoever was, because everybody's watching it and they're getting all their clicks or likes or all their fan base, or they have the Nielsen or the ratings or Nielsen ratings are high or whatever the fucking case may be. Well, everybody watches CNN because that doesn't mean shit. I would rather listen to some guy in his garage like Jimmy, right, or somebody in their den or something like Nico, or somebody on their couch like Combo Couch, or somebody that's just trying to pay their own way. I mean, I've got We Are Change, Nick Burmis, Jason Burmis, Luke Ladowski, and a few other people that are out there. They're advertising, hey, they've deplatformed me. I can't make any money. I'm doing this and reporting every day and bringing all the information to you. And all I'm asking for is, maybe buy this product. That'll work for you. Or maybe it's okay, buy my T-shirt or cup. That's fine. But they're independently done. They're not getting billions and billions and billions of dollars to put out a narrative or a talking point. They're not out. I'm not. Most of them aren't. That's okay. If somebody wants to do their thing and make their money on YouTube, I'm all for it, right? But when they start getting that super PAC money and that lobbying money, right, and they start getting that advertising money from those too big to fail companies, that's when you got to start looking out. That's when you got to start saying, I don't know if this person really has my back. I'd rather listen to somebody that's in the garage. I'd rather listen to somebody who's doing it at the fucking kitchen table. I'd rather listen to that person than any of these studios, these multi-million and sometimes billion-dollar studios that haven't gotten a dime from you. Anyway, so I'm just going to say, in regards to right now, People's Party, I love the things they're talking about. I love the things that they're going for. But it looks like they're getting too close to being Justice Democrats. They might get in or whatever, and the next thing you know, they're gone. But they're still going to use that same system. You're still going to have to vote through the same system. You're still going to have to go through the same political system. Party exodus isn't about that. It's our system for the people, for the U.S. voting republic, right? Especially the 99%. It will never be compromised. You have my word. It will never be compromised. Do they have your word?
Yeah, absolutely. Because here's the key thing about what we're doing. No matter what happens to us or with us, that what we've built will continue. That it's impervious because it's built with all of us having a say in it and building it together, rather than a couple of people getting together and telling everybody else this is what we're going to do for you, when we're just supplying information and basically making a toolkit that you can use for you to go out in your communities, so we can work together to help each other. It's not about anything else other than that.
Well said. It is the toolkit. It is the place you'll find to be able to think and do for yourself.
Yeah, and as we bring more people in, as we, because we're always open to new ideas, it can and will evolve to where, because this is in its infancy, right? Like, I think that we have some really solid ideas. I think that, we have a general outline for what we want to see done, but it's not finite. You know what I mean? Like, as more people come in and we're willing to listen, and we're just trying to do the best thing, to help.
probably the only option there is left.
Yeah.
I mean, what
And
other option is there? Think.
yeah.
Try to just think about it. I mean, what else is there? Keep going down that same road on that same broken record. I mean, I love Jimmy Dore. The reason why I do what I do is because of him and Kyle and a few other people. But the thing is I keep hearing the same broken record.
Yeah.
I keep hearing the same broken record.
Yeah, I mean that's what was driving me crazy when I was doing my shows was I just felt like I was covering the same stories over and over and over again. It's like, oh well, I finally got this bit of information to where I can expose Joe Manchin or I can expose AOC for the frauds that they are. And then I did the big story, and then everybody still loved them. And everybody made excuses, or nobody even wanted to hear it. It's like, oh, that's a conspiracy theory. It's like, no, these people actually are working against you. I mean, is it too crazy to think that all these people in office, these millionaires, out of a certain percentage of people, are all the ones that are in our government? I mean, it's not crazy, and yet you still have people, like what's his name, Ron, from the Movement for a People's Party, like whimpering at AOC, whimpering. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I don't really want to, say anything bad about you, but, I just wanted to say that you're not above scrutiny, okay? Like, dude, just say what it is. Like, she went back on what she, ran on. She promised us health care and she didn't give it to us. That makes her a liar or a fraud or both. So, don't mince your words. Just call her for what she is, because she needs to hear that. She needs to feel that pressure. And doing the mealy mouth, like, oh, well, please do this for us, isn't going to help anybody. He's trying to ride that fence, just like AOC did when she was calling out Pelosi, supposedly, when she was running. So she was controlled opposition from the start, for sure.
Yeah, Ryan, we're not trying to go after you, man. We're just trying to let you know that stand your ground, bro.
Yeah. I mean, be assured in your positions. I mean, like, I don't come into things like just saying, I mean, I research things before I have an opinion on it. I'm willing to listen to other people, but like, you have to like be certain of yourself. And I mean, these people are just like not doing that at all. And not to say that the people that support MPP are like bad or weak. You know, it's just, that's what they feel is best, and given the information that they have. But I mean, we know that parties are corruptible, so just cut them out of the situation.
Here's what people have a hard time that I've talked to understand. Um, they've been trained for years, decades, for God's century or so, that you've got to be a part of a party. You can't have a voice unless you're part of the Democratic Party. You can't have a voice unless you're part of the Republican Party. You can't have a voice unless you're part of the Libertarian Party or the Green Party, right? You don't need them anymore. They don't. What have they done? That's what you need to question. What the fuck has these parties done for you lately, man? What have you done for me? You should be singing that. I'm sorry, I fucked up on that. No. Okay. Let me see. Jordan Lutt says, you sound like the woman in my church that always speaks in soft, reverent voice, but sounds so scripted. What? Is it me? I don't think he's talking about me. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so, man. Yeah, in your church. Jordan Lott. Okay, Jordan Lott. Yeah, we'll remember that name, because that was a little weird. I don't know who. Let me see. I like Mark. He also said, I like Mark Charles. He was an awesome candidate. Oh, that disappeared. Yeah, he wrote.
Yeah, Mark Charles was great.
I think he meant that as a good thing. I think he meant it as a good thing. This has been a market game from the start. Oh yeah, it's been a Indy, dude. How
Oh, that's
many?
Indy. Indy's in the
Yeah,
chat.
Indy chat. How many times? Hold on. How many times have I said this?
It's all about the PR. Yeah. It's about the reality that they create for you, not the actual reality, but the perceived reality.
It's all staged.
Yeah.
It's all staged, right?
We said it the other night. It's pro wrestling. You know, the number one rule of pro wrestling is you don't admit that it's all faked and it's all staged. You know, the winners and the losers are already predetermined, right? But you can't say that.
What?
You have to,
What are you talking about?
I broke Fight Club rule. I already broke it.
Oh my
Damn it.
God! I can't believe you just said that. I'm like an
But, I mean,
Ultimate
that's what it
Warrior.
is.
I'm an Ultimate Warrior fan. For God's sakes. Nah. That's. I used to go in on the island of Kauai when I was like 14 or 15 or something. In high school, we used to go to these little wrestling matches, and you could clearly see nobody's hitting themselves, but you're just like, okay, hit him with the chair, hit him with the chair, and they would take the chair and kind of like stop just before got that, you know, and stuff like that. It was just pretty crazy. I'm echoing a lot over there, by the way. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, good to see some people here, but let me get through something. This is kind of a good one. I've got the Air Force One, right? Celebration. Here he goes. This is the President Trump speaks at Sendoff ceremony, right? At Joint Base Andrews, right? This is like 10 hours ago. That he won't be flying in that anymore. You know, and then let me just drop down to this because I think this is important real quick. I'll get to Ben Ipa. He's my uncle. He passed away, by the way. One of my favorite surfers in the world and board makers, IPA surfboards. Let me see. Let me just get, there it is right there. There it is right there. So this right here is a picture of, not a picture, it's a video of Donald Trump. And this is, I think was it this morning or yesterday? I think it was yesterday. He pretty much said, I'm done. I'm out. See you later. Totally scripted. He looked like Bernie did when Bernie was told to bend over at the convention. If you match the facial, the facial expression, they just seem like they were in that same place. I'm gonna do what you say. Don't fucking kill me. Don't kill my kid. No, I get it. All I have to do is say these things. And one of my kids is going to be this. We're going to get that. We're going to have fame and fortune. We'll still be in the loop. Don't worry, I got it. And they fucking just say it. So basically what I said right here is this piece of shit / Trump just took a major dump on his base today in his farewell speech, as Stop the Steal just got tossed in an oval file. Pretty much, right? Just disappeared. All right. Just like Biden, they are both fucking predator class corporate governance tools. This is it. They're all the fucking same. They don't give a shit about any of us, and they never have or will. Let's just make sure everybody understands that. They don't fucking care. George Carlin, he warned us over and over and over a time. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't fucking care. And yes, they've already got a plan set out. And he was before his time in so many ways. And he was out there just telling it like it was. And everything he says that he had said has come to fruition. It's come to reality. And if you're not paying close attention, you won't get that. On the surface, you'll see this and that. And parties kind of bickering and a few things happening there and there. Somebody says something bad about this person, that person. Bullshit. But under the surface, they plan all this shit. This is all cooperative, or it's forced, or whatever. You know, maybe maybe there's a knife in his back or a gun in his in his back, or who fucking knows? These are people that will send people to die. These are people that destroy infrastructures across the Middle East, across the world. These are people that have no problem with genocide anywhere. They don't fucking care. They don't care. As long as they're making theirs and they have their power and their authority and their control, right? I talk about control freaks. They're fucking everywhere. Let me go on the. You want to do chat real quick? There's a couple. Can you go back? Because there's a lot of stuff going on in there. I see some good stuff. All right, so you guys got to know. Look, if you're watching and you're Republican or somewhat Republican, or you thought Trump was going to do something for you, I predicted this months ago. I said, yeah, I'm 51-49 that he's probably going to fucking fly the coop. And then as time went on, I thought, man, maybe I'm close, but I'm still going to stick with my guns. And sure enough, not bragging, but all the information was there. He had bought millions and millions of vaccine doses in August. He bought from several different companies. He'd already been in this fucking vaccine thing, and he'd been praising it over and over. While his base is like, what are you talking about, dude? We're not fucking take this stupid fucking vaccine. I mean, we're going to boat rallies and motorcycle. I mean, we're trying to get away from this fucking scam, right? And he's going in, and he starts going in this other direction. Sure enough, he's gone out the door. There's your ceremonies. Last time he rides in the fucking helicopter, he's done. And he did what he was supposed to do, distracted everybody, got everybody riled up, divided and conquered, just like the other side does. Everybody's mad at each other, right? But we need to come together by being an independent voter, by being your own party. Fuck the parties. It's a waste. What has it fucking done for you? Look back 80 fucking years of that cartoon. Did you want to say?
Yeah, let me just go into chat. It says, Indy said, do not be surprised if Trump stirs up the far right, just saying it now. And look, here's the thing. And here's the problem with all these people that are involved in all the media, in all the politics and the corporations. All of it comes down to who gives them the best deal. And Trump isn't invested in the American people. He's not none of these people are. They're not invested in what's right or wrong or what's best. It's about what they can get the most out of. And if Trump sees a situation where he can get the most out of something like that, then he'll do it. And if it's going to hurt him, he won't do it. So that's what it comes down to. And that's why he kind of backed off from this, the Stop the Steal thing, is because there was way too many people coming out against him. I mean, you see all these, Dow, Walmart, Dow Chemicals, Walmart, Disney, all these different companies came out and said, look, if you support the fact that the election was fraudulent, then we're not going to give you money, right? So they're paying them to go along with their message. We all know that. Okay, we have to address this now. Yeah. The fact that if our politicians are in office because of the popular vote, right? No, then why are all the politicians hated? Why is Mitch McConnell still in office? Why is Joe Manchin still in office? Nobody likes these people, but yet they're in office. Nobody really liked Biden, but he's in office. All these politicians, nobody likes them. Nobody trusts them. Nobody likes them. Joe Biden, now in office, with a wall built around the Capitol with 21,000 guards deployed. They're coming down on free speech to where you can't question anything without being called a Nazi. And yet, this is what a democratically elected president looks like? Trump didn't do shit. No. And this has been happening for decades. We realized it when it happened to Bernie. We realized it. I mean, Al Gore, fought it to some degree, I guess. I don't know the specifics too much on that. But he did take it further than Trump. But still, we know that the people that, I mean, that's why people don't vote. That's why half of Americans have already checked out of the system, is because their vote means nothing. They have no idea how it was counted, if it was counted, any of this. And so that's why everybody just gives up. I mean, we're so apathetic because, like, we feel powerless because, I mean, how else are we supposed to get a change, right? Are we supposed to go out there and, strike? How can I strike when, I have to pay my bills? I don't have anything in my savings account. Like, so we check out and we, watch, Fox News or CNN or something like that. And they tell us it's good what we're doing. It's okay to check out, right? But it's not. And it's going to get worse. I mean, right now you have Biden in office with armed forces, thousands of them around the Capitol, right? To protect us from the president, to protect the president that we elected. Doesn't make sense. And then when you factor in all the other evidence of the app that was illegal, that they rigged, the weighted votes, the thrown out votes, the shadow app, right, that they use in Iowa. Yeah, all this is the most unpopular guy 2 times in a row now has won the election. And then they tell us to go and vote and make a change. No wonder there's people raiding the Capitol. No wonder there's, protests and riots all throughout the country.
That was staged.
They let them in, but still, people were angry enough to show up. I mean, the majority of them were peaceful protesters. It was over 100,000 protesters that were there, right? Almost 200,000 or so. But all of a sudden, there's this, that the police let in and walked around like they were showing them around a museum, were allowed to go into the Capitol, and they had every single right to be pissed off. Every single right. That's all I'm saying.
That was staged, and if you don't believe that, I'm sorry. But here, let me explain. Okay. So they use that, the storming the Capitol, right? Because, and then they started giving scenic tours, in a sense, by these. There's a video. It was even on fucking Rational National, right? And his big point was, if it was Black Lives Matters, they would have been shot. No, maybe, of course, yeah, everybody fucking gets that. But they actually, in a sense, let these fuckers in to do what they needed to do to create this illusion that there's a giant problem. And they need 21,000 troops because there's going to be there's going to be chaos and anarchy when the inauguration happens. And what the fuck happened? Nothing. Okay, yes, I understand. There were a lot of people that were definitely pissed off. That the rigging and the colluding and the voting process was bullshit, and it was fucked up. Yes, there was tons of information, but like I said, where did that go? Disappeared. It disappeared. It's gone, right? And now we have, hold on, and now we have, I guess Indy's saying that Trump's going to start his own political party. Okay, so hold on. Okay, so just like the Movement for a People's Party, right? Just like, so what happened to the Justice Democrats? Did they get compromised? Yeah. What happened to the a long time ago,
Tea Party?
The Tea Party. What happened to them? They started getting bussed in, and they showed. Honey, could you turn that? They showed like buffet tables for them because they were being catered at a certain point. They actually had some legitimate gripes in the very beginning. Their freedom, their rights. They were pissed off because they couldn't collect their own fucking rainwater. Right? But they got compromised. And now you're going to believe Trump, who just took a shit and jump aboard with this guy again? Are you I mean, how many times do you need to think that these fucking parties are going to do anything for you? Because they're not. They never have. They never have and they never will. But the point of reason, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm just saying, some of this stuff is staged, guys. You've got to know this. And I'm going to bring up 9/11 because Building 7 is coming back with a big force. Steve Slow News Day had it on. A lot of other people have had it on and been talking about it. Nobody fucking talks about Building 7. It's almost a half a mile away, and somehow it fell at 4:10 p.m. later on because it burnt down because of office furniture when it takes like 2,400 degrees to fucking like some god awful amount of temperature just to begin to fucking heat metal. There's so much evidence saying that was fucking planned and inside. There's just too much. There's just too much evidence. You have people that were. She's like, I gotta get in that. Yeah, I'm just saying. It's just I know this, but
yeah, that's definitely worth delving into.
Well, it's not just delving. It's obvious. It's totally and completely obvious that that building was a demolition, for sure. Building 6 was a demolition, for sure. The architects are think911.org, rethink911.org, and the architects are something. I'll just fucking message me and I'll give you the links. But these people are coming back, and who was on there? One of those architects was on Slow News Day just the other day, completely talking about how ridiculous this is. A war for 20 years. We've been giving about 6 billion to 7 billion, 600 billion to 700 billion dollars, right, to the fucking military industrial complex for something that was bullshit. Please tell me you guys are getting this. I know most of you are getting this. But the bottom line is this, and I love indie stuff, and Deb Delapiana's got some cool shit too. But yes, be ungovernable. But the thing you've got to do is you've got to get away from these parties first. Let them know you're leaving. Let them see those numbers. Just want to let you know, party chairman, we have people that have left the party now. We're down to 20 million, and we were at 40 just the other day. Let you know, party chairman of the Republican Party, we were at 70 million. Now we're at like 40 million. Something's happening and wrong here. They'll start thinking. They'll start going, holy shit. These people are fucking serious. They're, in a sense, succeeding from that system that hasn't worked. It hasn't worked. It's not working, and nor is it going to work. Okay? Yeah, I agree. Be ungovernable. But at the same time, I want you guys to understand it's just very important. It's very important that a lot of this stuff that's happening in front of you on the surface, you're seeing this and that. If you're watching CNN for your fucking news, you're being bullshit. If you're watching MSNBC, you're being bullshit. If you're watching all these other fucking shows that aren't dissecting the information or cross-questioning and triple-questioning these supposed pundits and all these other people that don't do shit and just bring out narratives, then you're being fucking manipulated. Period. It's very obvious. It is so fucking obvious. I mean, I in my shows, I just show it. I've laid it out tons and tons of times, and this is where people need to understand. This is where everybody needs to understand. And George Carlin, like I said it. They don't give a fuck about you. They're going to still spew their shit. They're still going to do their control. They're still going to socially engineer, divide and conquer us. They want sides. They want Trump to have a side. They want MPP to have a side. They want Green Party to have a side, which isn't really a fucking side. It's more like a sliver. They want the Democrats to have a side, so to keep you guys fucking divided. Divided. They love divide and conquer is the greatest trick in the book for the oligarchs. It's always been that way. I'm not going to get into religion, but I'm just going to say it's always been that way. All right, you wanted to go. Thank you for I'm going to get something else up here in a second. Hold on. Wait, there's something else I wanted to show you guys. Just no. Go ahead and talk. No, you were going to say, and I felt like I cut you off. So go ahead.
So there's some people in the chat. We were talking about striking, and who was it? It was Scotty Johnson, and we were talking about we need to strike. Which I mean that goes back to what. Oh shit, my volume is off. So we were talking Scotty Johnson in the chat about having a strike, and that was my idea. Is if we could get together and crowdfund um, a strike basically, and truckers or Walmart would be a good place to start because Walmart is the biggest employer in 21 states. But also, so I mean, that would be like half the states right there that we could have under a strike. And that would force a lot of people to go to like farmers markets or mom and pop stores instead of Walmart. uh, but truckers also supply all the stores, so truckers might be it comes down to the math of it and how much it would cost versus how much you know uh, the impact it would make. So I don't know, but either one of those would be a great place to start. And if TYT can raise all this money, if all these different places can raise millions of dollars, why can't we raise millions of dollars to help people get health care and a living wage? They that's what they do to us. They hold us hostage with money. Because if we, I mean, that's why we keep showing minimum wage jobs, right? Because we need at least some kind of money, right? Something's better than nothing. That's how they keep us under control. And that's how, these corporations and businesses, they keep politicians under control. They cut them off for money. You see, all these companies are coming out in solidarity to cut politicians off that are questioning the election results, because you're not allowed to do that. So if you want your money, then you better do what we say. So if that's what works, then I think that we should give that a shot. Cut them off from the money, right? Because that's the only thing that they listen to. We've been calling them for decades, writing letters, having protests and rallies, emailing them. We've been doing all these things, and what has it gotten us? Nothing. Moral victories? I don't know. A pat on the back? I mean, we don't get anything by doing that stuff. Yeah.
Participation medals. Those
Yeah, I mean,
participation medals.
The only thing that motivates them is money. And because we can't say keeping their job, because Mitch McConnell still has a job, and he is absolutely despicable. I've been trying to get Joe Manchin out of office for at least 6 years now, and somehow he's still alive and kicking in office. I just don't understand how these politicians can still show their face in public and still give us these platitudes, given how unpopular they are. Like, how can they get by with this? Nobody's voting for them. I mean, but we know the answer. So the only way to do it is by cutting them off from the money. And leaving the parties.
And
of course, yeah.
Creating our own voting system.
Don't give the parties your power. Don't give the politicians your power. Don't give them, and money is power. So the more money we give them by showing up to work and buying their products, and I get it. A lot of people don't have that option. That's why I want to crowdfund a strike. As a single mom with 3 kids, I can't ask them to say, do the morally right thing and let your kids starve while you go on strike. So, I get that. So I want to meet them halfway and be able to, have a little bit in savings to where we can, supply their basic needs while they're on strike. That's it.
I've got a picture up, guys. I don't know who's seen this or when, but this is from 1821. 1821. I think I'm not it looks like it's in French, nos vos gobernanos, or maybe it's Latin, not sure. Somebody can probably decipher that for me. Thank you. The money. Who protects the money? The banks, right? Capitalism at the very top. And then it's And then you have your politicians and your kings and your queens and your oligarchs and your hierarchical people, etc. And then below that, you have religion. Sorry, it's a controller. We fool you, and that's what it says. Nos vos trompons. We fool you. We keep you in your place, right? Don't question authority. Don't go against the grain. Do not question the source. Just question, just maybe the messenger, which can always change the fucking original story as usual. And then they're protected. All of them are the churches and the capitalist pigs at the top, definitely, usually, are protected, of course, by, if you go down, the military. If you get out of line, we shoot you. If it comes down to it, we put you in FEMA camp. Okay, and then you go down here, and then you have the predator class, which is now, in my opinion, part of the upper class. And they're all hanging out together because this is, and they're all these giant corporations and too big to fill banks, too big to fill big oil, big pharma, big tech, big social media, et cetera, are now, pretty much all together in the same spot at the top, in my opinion. And then at the bottom, who holds all this? Who does all this? Who works for all this? The pyramid of capitalistic system. Okay. Now, I'm not completely saying that capitalism is the biggest evil in the world, but they've taken capitalism and they've made it to the point to where it serves no one. It serves no one but the people at the top. Because there was a process a long time ago, even before this model happened, where, and let's just say, in my culture, the Hawaiian Islands, you'd have the elites, which everybody would come to and take care of and do these other things, but they helped govern, and they would have court rulings and stuff like that and do certain things to help certain people, right? But what happened was whoever gave the most to the people that made the decisions got the most. And that's why capitalism is a putrid thing now, and it won't change. So the sad thing about capitalism is it's just not going to work for anybody. It's why we are where we're at right now, thanks to McCutcheon versus the FEC, thanks to Citizens United, thanks to the money in politics. Basically, that is definitely where we're all now. But here's the point I'm making: this is an old fucking picture. This has been known for a long time, but still we're not learning our lessons. We're still going with the same process, right? The oligarchs will still create their parties. They'll still infiltrate. Like they'll take a side of those people that are holding up and say, oh, we're starting a movement. And they'll go down there and say, well, what can we do to help? What can we do to help you? If you help us, we'll help you, right? This is the way it always goes. It just doesn't fucking... look, all I'm saying is, and what we've always said is, the parties will not do shit for you, and they never will. Let me get to the next one. I got some good ones. And here's what's very obvious, right? And what's happening recently, which I like. This one's a good one. It's about neoliberalism 101, right? And this is where Ryan Knight and Nick Brana and everybody from the Movement for a People's Party need to understand who they're dealing with. Neoliberalism is a form of capitalism in which the state deregulates the economy, destroys unions, decreases taxes on the rich and corporations, and defends public goods while repressing and policing the poor, particularly people of color and minorities, right? The other part of that is actively favors big business interests and the wealthy. Of course they do, right? Like Big Pharma right now is getting the big push. They're getting the big push, right? Oh my God, there's just so much there. You guys got to realize. removes the practitioners of labor law. Yes. Guts welfare, eliminates social services, which is happening. Police power, incarcerate are instruments of social policy. Free trade policies empower corporations to seek cheap labor and resources across the world. That's why Obama was a part of the TPP. He wanted the he was trying to push the TPP, but he got so much pushback from the base, he's like, I better not touch that. Right? Because if you can get labor to make, look, guys, I got to tell you something right now. China, I would say in a sense, pretty much fucking owns the United States. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's going out on a limb. No, it's not, because it's pretty apparent, right? We owe more debt to China than we do to any fucking other country. There's so many countries out there that owe us, that we owe China a shit fucking ton of money. We're talking trillions. And then the last one here, it says, military force used to repress opposition abroad as well as at home. This is kind of old. It's not new, but it's been the same thing for a long time, right? If you speak out, if you go against the grain, they're going to find a way to oppress you, to subjugate you, to keep you obedient, is pretty much what's happening now with this scam freaking demic. And this is really interesting. Did you want to talk about Bill Gates and his farmland?
Sure.
Okay, you don't. All right, I'm gonna.
I haven't researched it enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely nefarious.
It's just anything this guy fucking touches just turns to shit. Not for him, right? Not for Mr. Eugenics, Mr. Genocidal Eugenics. Nothing that he has his fucking slimy, disgusting hands in is ever going to go south. This guy has been doing this shit for a long time. He knows what he's doing. His dad did the same thing. Just what did you do to verify this? What? A lot. I have trolls, everyone. Jim Hurst. A lot. It's actually happening. Ding dong. What? No, I'm talking about a troll, honey, on my Facebook. I get them all the time. Yeah, I get them all the time. It's just crazy. Now, here's something that really sucks. And I'm just going to kind of speed up on this. So now, there's a lot of marine in the Pacific, and all across the oceans, where they're coming up, and it's not just a natural process. Some will come and they will die singularly or just a few. But there's been a massive amount of a lot of wildlife, especially in the ocean, that depends on the ocean, that are basically just getting out of the water because it's just they can't breathe, and it's really sad. Thank you to Fukushima, and what sucks is I don't see fucking surfers trying to fight against Fukushima that spills, I don't know, about 40,000 barrels of radiant water that's poured into the ocean out there at the Daiichi plant in Fukushima in Japan. A day, just fucking up our oceans, and of course people are still swimming in it. What is this one? Senate investigates, finds Obama admin knowing funding Al Qaeda. Of course, they fund everybody. Keep that fucking money going. They just keep that money going. They'll never. Okay, this is going. So they'll never stop setting up the stage for your viewing pleasure, guys. They, like I said, I mean, it's very simple. It's a big theatrical show. You're going to keep watching it. Maybe not you guys, because I think you guys have an inclination for sure. But the FBI warns armed protests being planned at the 50 state capitals in Washington D.C. Okay, all right. So, and that's from CNN, right? CNN is causing fear, as they always do. Facebook warns armed protests being planned at all 50 state capitals and in Washington, D.C. Whew, okay. Yeah, so there it is. And that's the reason why you have 21,000 soldiers behind a gated fucking fence with barbed wire. Okay. There's a lot of other things, but this, I got to show you this video. This is my favorite. And this deals with what happened in the Capitol, right? Let me go back.
Glad to see you guys. You guys are fucking patriots.
So Raccoon Boy walks in with an employee of the country. He is a armed guard, basically giving a tour. You can see this better on Rational National, but he just talks about how Black Lives Matter is getting fucked. But you got to understand what's being said here, right? You guys are fucking patriots. These are people. There are people in this chamber already kicking back, and this guard comes in and he's just hanging out with them, right? And this is the big siege, right? This is the invasion that came into the Capitol. They were so nasty and so fucking bad, and they did all this terrible fucking damage. But it's an art museum tour, for God's sakes. I mean, watch it. And the guy says, "Do you need medical attention?" The guard who's supposed to protect that facility of people that supposedly just broke in is asking him if he needs medical attention. This is a real video. This is them making this entire thing a farce. And what's interesting is the New Yorker put this out. Isn't that interesting that they would even go to that extent? But you got to hear what's being said. And the guy goes, "No, do you want any medical attention?" The guy goes, "I'm good, thank you." And these are not subtitles. They're actually saying this, closed captioned in a sense. "I'm good, thank you." All right, right? So they're going to keep going. See if I can get this. Let me make sure this is on here.
We will. I'll be making sure they ain't disrespecting the place.
I've been making sure they ain't disrespecting the place. That's it. These guys are illegally breaking and entering. Tell me this isn't a fucking museum tour.
Does that look like a coup to you?
Yeah, does that look like a fucking big coup?
A violent insurrection?
A violent insurrection of a bunch of fucking people storming the castle. Is that storming the castle? Tell me I want to hear somebody say, "Oh, that's storming the castle." The complete opposite. That is the complete opposite of storming the castle. Right? And this armed guard who's supposed to be protecting all this furniture, by the way, all this, the doors, the handles, the seats, the tables, the chairs, the decorum, the fucking crown molding, the mirrors, and all this other shit, and it is our money. That's my money. I paid for that, and these guys are just giving tours, man, of whoever wants. I don't know if it mattered who the fuck went in there, honestly.
Okay, I just want to let you guys know this is like the sacredest place.
Honey,
So,
just to let you guys, this is the sacred place. So he's just saying, part of the tour, just letting you guys know this is the sacred place. Just letting you know, okay? It's all good. It's all good. I mean, if you've seen other videos of these police, they're like waving their batons, but they're going up the stairs like 5 feet away from the guys. There's like no show of force at all. And you actually see them waving them to come in. Come in this way, guys. These are security people. These are people supposed. This is why they have 21,000 guards and a fucking fence with bobware all around the Capitol. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you freaking kidding me?
First of all, they walk in with the cop with them.
It's just right, and that's Ryan Christensen. I got that from Ryan Christensen, but you can see that that's everywhere now. Okay, I don't know why I'm playing that, but anyway, that just came up as the next video. But that's just fucking nuts. That's just nuts, right? And Snork said, "Let me see what's." Honey, you want to go over the chat?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so let me get back to chat. Angie was making some really good points in the chat. Yeah, that's when we were talking earlier. She said grow food and store for the winter. Yeah, and it's a lot of kind of knowledge that we have now. I mean, all these things that was, all this type of knowledge that was handed out in generation from to generation. I mean, I don't know how to can food. Heck, I don't even know how to grow food. I mean, Snork just got in touch with me the other day and said, I need to start. Yeah, we have seeds. We're gonna try it this year and see how well it turns out. But yeah, I mean, like some rainwater, with purification methods and all that, because with all the chemicals in our environment, we gotta be careful with that. Let's see, what else? Let's see, Michael Mather is saying Citizens United, gerrymandering, first past post elections, corporate control of the news. Exactly. This is fascism, and this is exactly what capitalism always leads to. So
This is called social engineering. This is what this is called, people. You have to have these. Could you? I'm just going to say something. There are 3 terms I want you guys to be very familiar with, and it's sad that Jimmy and a lot of people just don't understand this. The predator class, corporate governance, aka a better way of capitalism, per the World Economic Forum, and then social engineering. This is the way it's been for a long time. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
By the way,
Honey, I'm going to go over that video of the nurse that got the laptop or something.
yeah, that's what I was just looking for that article.
I got it. I'll
okay.
put it up right now.
Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. And as far as the hold on. Who?
Are you jumping through the chat right now?
Yeah. I was trying to find what Chris was saying. Yeah. Obama put the modernization in the Smith-Munt Modernization Act to make MSM propaganda legal. And yes, because it before then it was illegal to use propaganda against American citizens, but Obama fixed that. So now they are completely free and clear and perfectly legal to push propaganda on us. Not that that really stopped him too much before, but yeah, we definitely don't have any kind of like legal precedents to like go after them now, because Obama made it legal to push propaganda. And look at what we've seen over the past, at least, since he left office during the last election and the one before, 2016. It's all propaganda. It's all Russian hackers and Russian bots and violent Nazis. And I mean, not to say that there aren't, racist people out there, but I mean, come on. They're talking about what happened on January 6th, like it was this elite army that stormed the Capitol, and it wasn't. It was just a few people that the cops let in and walked around.
Tour, honey. They gave him a tour.
I mean, you see a guy walking off smiling with the podium, a guy in a bear costume or whatever with his face painted like Braveheart.
Raccoon boy.
Yeah, I mean, like, this is the real threat. These are the people we're supposed to fear. Bunch of idiots that got taken advantage of. And the thing is like they're pointing at Trump like he's the one that caused all this. He isn't. I blame mainstream media for doing that, for polarizing people and pitting them against each other. All these politicians that use these wedge issues and lie to the people and tell them all these things to make them hate each other and to radicalize them. Yeah. But these are people that were just pissed off and the police let them in. A handful of people. And what's going to happen to them? I mean, they're going to go to jail for a while at least.
Maybe a misdemeanor, or who knows, breaking
And
and
why?
entering.
This is the Capitol. This is the, you know, a place that's supposed to be by, of, and for the people. And at worst, what, a couple of windows were broken.
Well, they
So-
give certain tours. They give actual tours through there. In the
Yeah,
Capitol.
but they're acting like these people came in there and like they prepared this beforehand. These people didn't prepare to do this beforehand. The cops let them in, and they just walked in and out of in an emotional state.
I don't know if that, I think.
I'm almost okay.
I mean, do you know otherwise? Because I don't think these people planned it ahead of time. I mean, this wasn't
yes,
like,
I am definitely going to say that that was probably the case, because they knew where to go. They knew what they could do. Look, if you're not going to get, if you're going into the Capitol, let's just say, how do I put this? If you're going into the most sacred place of our laws and bills, and you're going to go sit down in Nancy Pelosi's office, right? You're, I don't think you would do that on a normal day. I don't think that would have happened on a normal day, like on a, like a week prior. I think they would have. I think whoever it was that would have went in there, they would have been shot and killed. They would have been restrained before it happened. I am going to say, and it, you have to look again. It's a trick. It's a trick. It's all fucking. It's staged. It's bullshit. Everything is fucking staged. Everything is set up. Everything is to manipulate you, to pin you against each other. There's some new. I guarantee some of them knew. Hey, by the way, we're going to go here. We're going to go do this. This is what I've been told. So this is how we're going to do it. To tell me that, because 9/11 is a good example of that, is the greatest example of that, because they had one of the engines of supposedly one of the planes, right? And and if you want, let me know. I'll send you the video. That was out on a sidewalk, like somebody picked it up, a few people or a crane or something, and just gradually dropped it on the sidewalk. There was no impact of it hitting or scraping, and it was actually underneath scaffolding. So it couldn't have come from above. It's like somebody took it and inserted it under the scaffolding. There's a video of that, and the biggest thing is the supposed planes that they were using. This engine is not the type of engine that's used for the planes that they said were used in these those two planes. This engine is a totally different engine. But they found an engine, they put it out there, and they staged it. This happened. This happened. If you want to know where to get that video, let me know. I've got it. I've got it, and I'll send it to you. But did you want to go over this one? The FBI probe whether woman stole Pelosi's laptop to sell to Russia. Right? That's what she did. And what did you want to say? What did you want to say about this?
No, go ahead. Let's get into this article because I want to talk about this.
The what?
I want to go ahead and get into the article because I do want to talk about the article.
Okay, so basically what they're saying is this. You brought it up. You pointed out the fact that, so you're saying a CNN.
First,
okay, so this article that I found was about a healthcare worker, a care worker is what I think what they called her. That she went to the Capitol, supposedly, right, and broke into Pelosi's office, stole a laptop, and she's from Pennsylvania, I think. So this woman from Pennsylvania went out to DC, infiltrated Pelosi's office, stole a laptop, and was trying to sell it to the Russian government. some random care worker, right? So this random woman in Pennsylvania that doesn't have a government job, she has no ties to Russia. It's just she would just happen to know these Russian government officials that she was going to sell a laptop to, right? But here's the thing: guess who turned her in? Her ex-boyfriend, somebody that couldn't possibly have a motive for trying to get revenge, right? So they're going to take the word of an ex-boyfriend that she is this, elite spy that infiltrated Pelosi's office, stole a laptop, and is planning to sell it to the Russian government, right? What sounds more plausible, that, or maybe her boyfriend just wants to get revenge? There's no proof, but now there is a manhunt for this woman. Last I heard, she packed a bag and, told her mom she was going somewhere for a couple weeks. But yeah, she's on the run. Now, I'm not saying that she wasn't there or anything like that, but I mean, really, it's Russia all over again. Yeah, she's trying to sell the laptop to Russia. I mean, these are American citizens. I'm not saying that what she did wasn't illegal, because stealing a laptop, of course, that's illegal. You're breaking a law, whatever. But I mean, to amp it up to where she is a traitor to America and trying to sell government secrets about Nancy Pelosi's hair appointments to Russia is absolutely insane. Because earlier there was a video or a picture of a guy sitting in Pelosi's office with her laptop open behind him, with tabs open, and one of them said Pelosi's hair appointments. Now, these, I know that they can be arrogant and that they can be stupid, but they don't lock their computers when they leave. Are you? I mean, really? Pelosi doesn't just shut her laptop and
In a locked vault.
I mean, she just doesn't shut it and lock it. I don't care if the password is password 123.
But it's open.
She just left it completely open and just happened to be left to that tab. And then what? That woman came in after him and stole a laptop. It doesn't make sense. But now this woman is a fugitive and is wanted for a crime that she's probably going to spend 20 years in prison for. All because on the word of an ex-boyfriend.
I think she's probably going to go live in the Cayman Islands and have a big fucking mansion.
Oh yeah, with all that healthcare money that she's got.
No, what I'm saying is none of this is entirely bullshit. This is to throw wind at Russia again, because Russia's always the problem. We can't take responsibility for not stowing away or making sure government information isn't put in a safe spot. We have to make sure that we have to make sure that somebody gets that laptop, is able to get it. I do not fucking believe this at all. I think it's total and absolute bullshit. And because we all know that Russiagate was so accurate and correct, right? It's been the pot calling the kettle black for so long. But besides that, besides the fact that Russiagate, that kept coming up, how long did that last? 3.5 years? Right? Yeah, and they're still going. Right? And they're going to keep bringing it up because they will not let the camera or let the attention go towards them. So you are a public servant and you're there to protect our country, but for some reason you know that somebody's breaking in to the Capitol because you just always leave your laptop open. You didn't call somebody to say, hey, Security Bob that's giving the tour there right now, could you do me a favor? I know you're giving a tour to your raccoon boyfriend and all this other shit, but could you go put that fucking laptop away for me, please? Put it in the safe or a safe spot. Come on. Fucking come on. This is, my God. All right, I'm going to keep going. Did you want to say some more on this? Because this is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, that and the fact that, I mean, this is the most heavily guarded uh, capital there is. I mean, there's forces out there at constantly surveillance, I mean, undercover surveillance. We spend 93 billion in defense each year. All these cops, even when they called in backup, the backup didn't show up for hours. But all of a sudden now they can get 21,000, uh, armed guards there,
In a
National Guard
blink of an
there.
eye, sleeping on the
Yeah.
fucking marble floors.
But what, the backup cops couldn't show up for some overtime? I mean, like they don't need an excuse to like want to bash people's heads in. Like, I mean, they're there. I mean, they're all about that. So I mean, and they didn't show up for hours. Hours they didn't show up. I mean, I saw a video where it was a Trump supporter watching people go into the Capitol, and he was begging the cops. He goes, "Call in backup. What are you doing? Call in backup. They're going in there. Get some people here. They're going into the Capitol." And he's pleading with them. What are you doing? And these cops are just standing there while people are running in, while the other cops are taking down the barricades and letting them walk into the Capitol, while other cops inside are walking around with them, giving tours. I mean, do you need anything, sir? I mean, I didn't see mace. I didn't see batons out. I mean, if this was any other protest, I mean, this is why they primed people for this, got them ready, got them so agitated. And then at the very last moment, they just let them in. They just let it happen. Just like you were saying with 9/11. They let it happen. They could have stopped them from even walking one step further than they should have, but they didn't. They let them go in and they let them cause a spectacle just so they could plaster it all over the place and call us domestic terrorists. End of story. That's how I see it.
That's a good point. So I'm just saying there could have been some that knew what was happening. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
Yeah.
the media was all over it. There was, I mean, at least 20 different media in there with the crowd taking pictures and videos. One of our representatives that has now resigned and has been arrested was part of the crowd. So there's all these different people that are part of the crowd. It's just like, I mean, how many people were actually like pure, people just walking in instead of, media and politicians and, people that were planted in there. So, I mean, I think it's a mixture of it because, I mean, yeah, you've got your media that was all geared up and ready to go. Politicians part of it. So,
Yeah, you're right. I'm a firm believer. Planned for years. Thank you very much, Mark, Jason Walker. That a lot of this stuff is. I mean, if you're going to create Avatar isn't done yet, right? They're still trying to put Wonder Woman was the fucking dumbest movie I've ever seen. That's 1984, right? They had to pick Orwellian 1984. But I got the next picture up. Did you want to say something?
One last thing. Whitney Webb brought this up on Slow News Day. She had an awesome interview over there. But she brought up the fact that she was talking about it a long time ago, maybe like 6 months or a year ago. The head of the CIA was talking about something big was planned on and around Inauguration Day, that there would be some kind of like violent rioting and stuff like that. So, they already said it was going to happen. And then lo and behold, it happened, right?
Yeah, that's definitely something we got to keep following. Ryan Christian, Derek Bros, Whitney Webb. There's a lot of people out there that are really digging deep into these headlines, and they're doing research and their own due diligence and checking a lot of information out there. But let me digress a little bit, and let me get into something that I think is very important for us to talk about. Martin Luther King. All right. And what I have up right now is basically something that a lot of people don't even realize. And I think it's important for everybody to understand and know. So who knows what this march is? This is the Million Man March, right? This is a picture of it. I've got it up right now. By the way, if you're going to celebrate Martin Luther King, we should also acknowledge that your U.S. government was actually found guilty conspiring to kill MLK in the court of law. Yes, guilty. Right? Hand slaps, nothing happened. They also spied on him, spread fake news about him, while trying to undermine him every step of the way. I mean, tell me that isn't happening now. I mean, nothing's. This is 50 years ago or something like that. The Poor People's March was what, about a little over 50 years ago? But nothing has changed. Again, the parties aren't there to help you. They aren't. They don't give a fuck. They're not there. And they'll be compromised. You know, the mainstream media isn't there to help you. They're not. That's not what their job is. That's not who pays their bills. You don't pay their bills. Right? This is a very, very. This has been going on for a long, long time, guys. A long, long time. And this 1921 cartoon picture I put up there, capitalism, it's been going on for a long, long time. Right? And then the picture I put up earlier showed how the military-industrial complex eats up all the money that's out there. They can't provide us with Social Security safety nets or Medicare for all or get a living wage or so many other things that would actually help the people. It all goes to the plutocracy, the oligarchs. It's just continuous. It's not stopping. So when you tell yourself that your party's going to do something for you and we need to demand that they do something, it's not going to happen because it's never fucking happened. I mean, how many times do you need to play that goddamn broken record? It just continues over and over and over again. Let me go down. This is the guy you guys need to pay attention to watch. That's Ryan Christian, The Last American Vagabond. He's just dissecting the fuck out of COVID, Corona, the jab, right, and all that bullshit. Right, and in this particular, he was deplatformed. He was taken off Twitter. He had to create another YouTube channel so he can get his information out, right? And this particular episode or YouTube that he did, top epidemiologist speaks out about COVID vaccine side effects and major study challenges, lockdowns. And he does like the daily wrap up. He does it every day. He's good to watch. And then soon, right? What's going to happen? You'll need to have that card or that stamp or that tattoo or whatever, the chip. I fucking knows. You'll need to have something to say that you've been fucking vaccinated. And I'm going to go to a YouTube real quick and play something for you guys. Give me just a moment. Did you want to talk about any of this right here or no? You don't like to touch this, I know.
What?
The vaccine stuff.
No, I do.
Okay, so hang on, let me go. So this right here.
And
okay, I want you guys to listen to this. This is at the 120-minute mark. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee speaks on the inauguration. This is all pro-Biden, but something that I find very alarming because, and this is something I'm going to kind of end with. If you want to go over something, but this is important, guys. This is important. Please pay attention. Let me just play it right here real quick.
Congress as well as the White House are now both controlled by the Democratic Party. What do you expect the first big policy pushes to be?
Well, I think clearly the president made it clear, and that is that he is determined to beat COVID-19. We had no agenda for COVID-19 in the past year, none whatsoever. Haphazardly, we were able to secure 2 major vaccines, but the distribution has gone awry. The testing early on went awry. We couldn't get PPEs. So now this president is going to take this under his charge, working with local governments and state governments. I applaud that. I've introduced the COVID-19 Delivery Act of 2021, and it puts in place a federal system that is going to make sure that we push these vaccines out to every part of America so that we can reach the 75% capacity that we need to reach. Joe Biden is going to take charge with his COVID-19 task force, and we're going to
75% capacity that we need to reach. What that means in that bill, just to let you guys know, they want to make sure that at least 75% of the U.S. population is vaccinated. That's their goal. With something that they won't know what the ingredients are for another 2 years. It's completely indemnified or not liable, just like mainstream media, thanks to Obama. The ingredient, not just the ingredients, but a lot of reviews or data in regards to it won't be published or available forever. So you're going to trust something that took, some people are saying it was started in 2012. Why would they start a coronavirus vaccine in 2012? Why would they even start making something like this that long ago? Because from what I know, this thing's only been around for maybe a year. Right? So this is kind of odd. The other thing is that's very alarming is over 55 people have died from it. Right? There's an article here. I might even get to it here soon. But people have died that have taken it and immediately after have had serious side effects and have died. There are a lot of people that have had Bell's palsy. That's kind of common. It happens every once in a while. But we don't know what this thing is going to do to you. They've never had an mRNA vaccine ever out there, ever. So this is something that's new. It's never been completely tested. A vaccine, a jab. I shouldn't even say that because now I'm probably going to get censored. And I'm just stating the facts. Okay, the fastest vax ever done took about a little over 4 years. Ever, the fastest one, patented, all that 9 yards. Usually they take 5, 10, 15 years before they're approved. But this warped speed, who Trump pushed, who bought into it, like I had indicated, right? Who these people want the fucking entire country to take it, right? Are pushing this fucking thing like crazy. And now there's a 100-day, because all these executive orders, a lot of this shit's fucked up. You got to look them up. I'll have them. I should have had them today. I couldn't find them all today. But the first one is a 100-day mandatory masks. 100 days. First, everybody's got to wear a mask everywhere you go, in your car, at the library. Well, that's not even open. Everywhere you go. You got to wear that fucking mask. That fucking mask, in my professional opinion, is a sign of being meek, malleable, and obedient to the predator class and this giant scam. That's my professional opinion. That's my perspective. And that's what's happening. And it's really sad that so many people are still listening. This is a good point. So many people are still listening to the same people that lied you into 9/11. These same media outlets, the same media, whether it's print, social, wherever. They're doing the same thing. They're creating the same fucking thing, but on a global scale. The amount of money that's been invested in this is huge. The amount of money that's going to be made, if they can do this, is ginormous. But at the same time, the toll could be completely horrific. When you have a guy at the helm that's a eugenicist, and several others that are eugenicists, which are people that think only certain people should live and the rest and everybody else should die, and they want to cut the population and all this other shit. What the fuck? How are you letting these people control all this shit? What's sad is Gates is fucking able to manipulate, control, and create law or mandates. His influence is just so overpowering. The thing, and that's happening in most industries. Anyway, if you go back into some of my videos, you'll definitely see how there's just so much behind this that clearly and absolutely indicates the biggest psyop, money grab, scam, control process I have ever seen. And it's impressive. And at the same time, it's horrific. It is a fucking nightmare. If you're used to this shit, good for you, but I'm not. I want to go into a fucking store without a mask. I want to hang out, talk to people. I want to go to a fucking football game. I want to go to a fucking baseball game. I want to go see a fucking basketball game. I want to go play sports. I want to go do this. I don't want to go to parks that are shut down. Right? This is all just nuts. All this stuff is just out of control. And everybody's so just easily controlled about this fucking thing. Easily controlled. It's just fucking ridiculous and wrong. Right? Let me go to something else here. Hang on a second. Yeah, that's just out of control. It's just totally out of control. All right, hang on. All right, let me see if I got something else here. And then I'm going to start to go. Right? Oh, this is good. This guy was good. I like this guy. How long is this? Oh, that's just too long. Hold on. Yeah, I'm all about this right here, people. I'm all about this for sure. This is me. Fuck these lockdowns. I'm not buying it anymore. I'm not buying any of this shit. If you want to go get a vaccine, good luck. But there's just too much behind this. They're totally indemnified. The nurses, the doctors, the hospital, the manufacturers, the government. If anything happens to you from this warp speed vaccine, you can't do shit. There's nothing you can do to save yourself, or challenge them, or sue them, or nothing. There's nothing. They're completely indemnified. They're not liable for anything. Why would you do that? Why would you go into a car, right, that you know you can't sue the manufacturer for? Why would you buy a product that you know could blow up your fucking house and you can't do anything about it? That's just fucking nuts. Snork, I don't mind lockdowns if the rent and the bills go on hold and utilities and food are delivered. Yeah, Snork, that's good. That's a good one. Yeah, but I'm telling you, if you think this has nothing to do with a deadly pandemic, none. It doesn't. If you want information in regards to that, let me know. I'll send it to you. But you've got to check it out. You've got to watch it. Right? You've got to watch it. Okay. As a matter of fact, let me see if I still got that. I wonder if I still got that. Hang on. Oh, I like this one right here. Give me a second. This one right here is one of my faves. One of my faves. Yeah. So now they're saying Black America isn't getting the vaccine fast enough. So you better go out and get it. The poor isn't getting it fast enough. So you better go out and get it. Right? Building the 7-block video. This is a good video here in regards to this scamdemic. Insidious creature has a vital part in all of your demise. He sure does. Let me see if I can find this one here real quick. Yep, right there. 55 people died in the U.S. after receiving COVID-19 vaccines. Reporting system. This is the reporting system. They're telling us. Did they die of natural causes? Was it underlying conditions? Or was it really fucking COVID-19? Or was it from the vax? Right? We don't know. And there's Trump walking out. He's out. See you later, bro. That's a good one. Hang on. There it is right there. Let me see if I'm going to play this. I just want to get to a part here that's important for everybody to hear.
Social living.
See if I can get to that real fast. Okay, hold on. I'll find it. Give me a moment. I'm almost there. Almost there. Okay. Just a moment. Oh, there it is right here. This guy is very worth
picking out
to.
One particular story from the past year that would be particularly deserving of the title of Fake News Story of the Year. So take this particular story and its particular instantiation as more of a general sign of what happened over the course of the past year. But the actual winner for Fake News Story of the Year goes to Bloomberg for coronavirus is 10 times deadlier than seasonal flu, Fauci says, in which they report on a meeting with the U.S. House Oversight and Reform Committee from March of this past year, in which Dr. esteemed, renowned expert overlord Tony Fauci made a very important statement about the then novel coronavirus. Namely, the novel coronavirus spreading around the globe is 10 times more lethal than the seasonal flu, the government's top infectious disease official told a House hearing, where he warned the U.S. must take serious mitigation efforts now. Bottom line, it's going to get worse, Fauci said. And you don't have to take Bloomberg's word for it or anyone else's, although there were plenty of stories that were made on the back of this particular committee meeting. You can go actually watch Fauci deliver these words himself.
Probably for the practical understanding of the American people, the seasonal flu that we deal with every year has a mortality of 0.1%. The stated mortality overall of this, when you look at all the data, including China, is about 3%. It first started off as 2 and now 3. I think if you count all the cases of minimally symptomatic or asymptomatic infection, that probably brings the mortality rate down to somewhere around 1%, which means it is 10 times more lethal than the seasonal flu. I think that's something that people can get their arms around and understand.
Something that the public can get their arms around, right? Except for the fact that it is fake news, false, 100% documentably, certifiably wrong. And I say that quite advisedly because I did write about this in my newsletter back last October under the title The Worst Miscalculation in Human History. Miscalculation, of course, is in sneer quotes, as it should be, because one wonders, oops, was this just an innocent mistake? Well, I'll let you be the judge, but as I go on to point out in this article, I cite the research of Ronald B. Brown of the School of Public Health and Health Systems at the University of Waterloo, who published a paper in Cambridge Press's Disaster Medicine and Public Health Preparedness Journal this past August, arguing that Anthony Fauci's testimony to Congress on March 11th of this year was not just misleading, but downright disastrous. Long story short, Brown contends that Fauci's testimony confused case fatality rate and infection fatality rate, leading to the miscalculation that the novel coronavirus was 10 times deadlier than the average flu. Brown reached out to a number of media outlets about this, seemingly the biggest story of the year, but he only received one response. That response came from John C.A. Manley, an independent Canadian journalist fighting the mainstream COVID narrative at muchadoaboutcorona.ca. As Brown told Manley about his paper, the manuscript cites the smoking gun documented evidence showing that the public's overreaction to the coronavirus pandemic was based on the worst miscalculation in the history of humanity, in my opinion. My manuscript underwent an intensive peer review process. Tellingly, Brown adds, you, as in John Manley, are the first media guy who has responded to my invitation.
I'm saying intense peer review because I want you guys to understand that, which has not been challenged. He's correct. The reason why these lockdowns and why these masks are on our persons or involved in our lives is because of a fucking lie. Period. And nobody from the mainstream media would get close to this. I wonder why.
End quote. Absolutely disgusting, isn't it? Truly truly the blockbuster story. If there was some sort of conspiracy, all the reporters would be scrambling to report that story. Oh, you silly conspiracy theorists. Oh, of course the media wants to tell you some big sensational juicy story like the worst miscalculation in human history. Okay, well, here it is. Crickets. Bloomberg and everyone else, all the other, and trust me, all of the other outlets dutifully reported it when Fauci gave his testimony. 10 times more deadly than the flu. This is the scourge. This is the big one, folks. Buckle down. We're going to have to lock down. 2 weeks to flatten, 2 months to flatten, 2 years to flatten, 200 years to flatten the curve. And not a single mainstream fake news propaganda media outlet would report on this paper by Ronald B. Brown. Oh, they'll report on Lancet studies finding AstraZeneca's COVID vaccine totally 100% safe and 10,000% safe and effective, folks. Wait, that isn't what the Lancet reported? Ah, well, whatever. Close enough, right? But they will not touch a story like this one with a 10-foot pole. Yes, so exactly as Kerry Mullis told us in his own words, not fake news, guys, fact check that. Kerry Mullis told us in his own words that he thought Fauci was a liar and incompetent, didn't know what he was talking about. Well, here's proof positive of all of that. I mean, I guess the best defense that could be mustered for Fauci in all of this is that maybe he is too much of an idiot to know the difference between case fatality rate and infection fatality rate, and thus actually, doggone it, all the top minds here at the National Institute for Infectious Disease, we just couldn't figure out that difference, and so we kind of said it was 10 times deadlier than the flu. We didn't mean that, though. It's actually not even nearly as close to that. Oh, well. Anyway, let's move along, guys. Really? So that's your best argument. Of course, more realistically, as I think my audience is well situated to know, yes, this isn't a miscalculation at all. The entire scamdemic is, of course, just the perfect vehicle for forwarding the entire checklist of the agenda of the very same people who were running simulations of a coronavirus pandemic back in October 20.
Yeah, somebody here brought up Agenda 21, and then of course you want to talk about Event 201 as well. And if you look at Dark Atlantic Storm, that's a proposal, by the way. And then if you look at CladX, that's also a proposal. Event 201 was the proposal that was actually, and I think there's another one, but I don't remember the name. That was the biggest proposal. That was, and I'm talking about Event 201, that was the proposal that everybody signed up for. They bought it. They said, let's fucking do this. We could make a shit ton of money. So this is what's going on. If you think otherwise, I've got tons of... Just watch some of my videos, guys. Share it with other people. It's fucking out there. But basically, this guy has been on top of shit for a long time. He actually lives in Japan. He's done TED Talks. Like, who hasn't done a fucking TED Talk? But he's been accurate, I'd say, at least with 95% of the stuff that he's put out there. I mean, extremely accurate. Because his research is extremely thorough. My research, and I question everything he said. I wanted to look and see that. I remember Fauci actually at that hearing. I remember saying these things. I'm like, what the fuck? Right? I remember him going over that. And everybody bought it hook, line, and fucking sinker. Everybody bought that. You bought it. I bought it. We all bought it. I was concerned. Everybody was concerned. Right? Because this is the guy. Right? And then the next thing you know, you got Brad Pitt coming out and playing Anthony Fauci. Like the complete opposite in a sense. Just praising this piece of shit. And the guy he's talking about, Kerry Mullins, he created the PCR test. He created the gold standard test, and there's information on that too, to nasal swab you, right? That thing is created to detect if you, and you run cycles on. Anyway, it's just, there's so much more going on here. And what's sad is I don't see Jimmy talking about this shit. He won't. I see so many other fucking people that just won't even get close to this. They won't. But what's sad is they'll take the word from the same people and the same academia that's all funded and supported and donated to, like Oxford and Yale and Harvard. They just wrote a paper. In regards to this, that, and the other thing, and how bad thing is going to be, and Who fucking pays these fucking people? These foundations. Oh my God! I got a video on that too. You've got to understand that the manipulation with the backing of money sets the narrative, sets the talking point, sets the agenda, and allows the agenda to play through. This is what's happening, and it's happened too long. The parties don't give a shit about you. Leave. Get out of there. Say, fuck you. Right? Both. They don't give a fuck. And if they create a new one, it's just, like I said, it's a matter of if, but when they'll become compromised. Yeah, sure. Go join the fucking Trump party. Good luck. Patriot Party, whatever the fuck it's called. Right? You think he gives a shit? This guy was born with a gold-plated plate with diamonds around the edges, right? He's never ate top ramen in his fucking life, ever. He's never had hot dog stew, right? He's never had a mustard fucking sandwich in his life. He doesn't give a shit about the 99%. And if you think he does, then look, I've got a bag of air I can sell you for $1,000 that I know you'll buy. So anyway, I hear you typing or doing something. How are things going? Are you good? Because I'm just about to go. It is getting late. I just get out. I work till the late evening, so my hours are totally different. But listen, I appreciate everybody that's here. I appreciate everybody that's listening. I appreciate everybody that understands kind of what's going on and what's happening. I appreciate all these people behind me and these cardboard figures, because that's awesome. What the fuck? What the fuck? Come on. Oh my God. Just for fuck's sakes. For fuck's sakes. Anyway, are you good?
Yeah.
Okay, so you good? You want to say goodbye, and then I'll say goodbye, or you want me to say?
I just wanted to thank everybody in the chat for all the the discussion and good ideas and stuff. Oh yeah, if you didn't see the video we did before this, we actually just talked about our upcoming plan of coming up with a kind of like a mock election or a exit polling, is what we called it.
Quote unquote.
Yeah, exit polling to kind of like verify polling results and just to see how our numbers compared to the election numbers, because honestly, because they got rid of exit polling. So we have no way of verifying the actual count. So we're going to see how that pans out. But anyway, it does more than that, but just watch the video. It's pretty short. I mean, it's one of our shorter ones. It's probably like around 20 minutes long.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's worth the watch. It's the next step after leaving the party. We're actually building something for the future. So, I think you can find the link to it on nonpartyvoters.org, right?
Yeah, I'm going to show the website.
Okay.
I'm going to show the website, guys. Thank you very much, Stevie from Ed Economics, who sits right next to me. Sadly, I'm so out of shape. It's bad. This freaking scamdemic has messed me up. I'm usually out moving around, grooving around. Oh, so bad. I miss my gym. I miss my bags, man. Boop, 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 boop. I miss all that shit. God damn it, these motherfuckers. I swear to God. So let me just show you real quick. Let me get to it, and then we're going to get out of here. But I want you guys to please do what you can just to spread this website around. It's called Party Exodus, right? Party Exodus, a.k.a. Non-Party Voters. We're going to probably move it to more Party Exodus because that would encompass more. But if you go through it, you're going to see where I stand, where we stand, where we all need to stand. All the information is right there. What's going on in the world, what's happening, what needs to happen. We're about ranked choice voting for sure. We're about getting rid of the media bias. We're totally about getting rid of these fucking parties that are full of bullshit. I mean, everybody used to just drop a name in a hat. What happened to that, right? And the reason why I started this, honestly, is because I heard, and you can't really see that right there because it's kind of small. Let's see if I'll make it bigger real quick. Is Jimmy Dore had Jesse Ventura on, and one of his biggest questions that he asked was in June 2020, right? This past year, all the crazy, the circus, and the nation's cap, all this stuff happening, and he asked Jesse, what can we do? What's going on? What do we need to do? If we all got mail-in ballots, then it's easy to write our vote in. Just let us write our own vote in, right? That's not, there's more to it, but that's what kind of started this movement going. Not a move, this site, this website of information going. Also on here, just letting you know, let me bring it down and show you what kind of happens here. And I think it's important you guys to share the website, be a part of Party Exodus. Look, I'm not asking you guys to get on Zoom meetings or Slack all the time and all that other shit. Just go there for information. Because the cool information about this, oh my God, I got to sneeze. Okay. The cool information, that was a good one. Corona. But anyway, so is if you go in this section right here, you'll be able to see the interactive map, right? And the interactive map is very simple process. You just click the state. If you see here, let me see if you can see this. You can see that green means that you can actually write in your vote. Some of them, most of those states, you don't even have to be a part of a party. That's the way it should be. You shouldn't have to register or be a part of a party platform that you're like, fuck you, this is stupid, or cult, or fucking, I don't know, goat worshiping or whatever the fuck they do these days. You can just go and just vote. Now, we have states that you can do that. This needs to happen to all the states. We need this ground level. This is part of it. Protesting is part of it. Marching is part of it. You know, remember, we need to keep moving to do what we can to get Julian Assange or out of there. And I know that's going to be, most of us have given up, but for God's sakes, if anything, somebody needs to grab the keys and commit. Somebody needs to grab the keys to WikiLeaks and say, bring it to me. I'll be that person. Come after me, motherfuckers. I will hold your anonymity. I will keep you private. I will make sure you have my word. And we got to still be careful with that, because only one person that I know of would be able to go through 3,800 hours of fucking torture and incarceration, right, for that long, to hold people's privacy and their anonymity in that way. It's amazing what this man is fucking doing. People don't understand how important it is. But let me just say, if he eventually, and it really appears that way, that he's not going to make it out of there. Somebody needs to take the keys and be responsible, like right now, like not in a month, not in a year. It has to happen soon. So whoever has the keys to this place needs to take that charge. And you need somebody strong. You need somebody that has that kind of integrity. That is so hard to find, right? Give me the fucking keys. Give me the keys. Give me the keys. Anyway, the red states, okay, are where it's unconstitutional. You can't write in your vote. The yellow states, right, you can, but you have to go jump through some hoops. You have to, rare attribute. Thank you, Mark. Exactly. Hey, Bye, Indy. Indy's gone. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for showing up. Good, miss you. Good night, Snork, everybody. Okay, so real quick. So what happens if you go to each state, you click it, it zeroes in, click it again, right? It takes you straight to Ballotpedia, shows what you need to do to get somebody to write in a vote for them. It gives you all, it goes straight to where you need to be, what you need to do. Some you can't, some you can. But that's the way that works. It's very efficient. It's very efficient. Okay, so let's go back to the map real quick. Okay. All right. So that's a good piece of information that everybody needs to know and have. Or just keep going with the same fucking stupid party system. Good luck. Have fun with that. Here's all the parties. There's some more information here. But if you go here, this is the most important part. Trust and faith in voting. That's the last. That's a singular page. That is a singular page where you go to, right? And it's gonna say, hey, the whole fucking. It's gonna tell you point blank. If you've been paying attention to our voting process, it's designed to serve the predator class. Only. This is the way. This is the design, and you can see the design. This has nothing to do with the public. Nothing. All the money flows. And I mean, just look it up. Look it up. We no longer have any influence. A great video from represent.us is on there, showing that what you say to your politicians, email, phone call, letter, doesn't mean shit to them. They're not listening to you anymore. So when you click this link here, we need our own hiring and firing process, right? It takes you to this questionnaire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 questions, right? The 12 steps. And it's really good because what we'd like people to do is go there, give us their input. And please try to be as honest and forthcoming as possible and how you really feel and what you want to do, because this will help us design what we need to. There's places for comments. If you have different processes that you want to use that you think should be implemented, if you don't like ranked choice voting, you know that there's something better. But remember, this is voting in general, and the goal for us is basically to create an exit polling system that runs alongside the current system. Right, that kind of fact checks. I don't even want to say that. Oh my God, not fact checks, but kind of gives you the actual picture of what's happening instead of what they are portraying. Okay, so please, if you can, go here, take a look at it, answer the few questions. This is going to help us to build what we need for a voting system that is going to work for the U.S. voting republic, or AKA the 99%, not for the 1%, not for the predator class, not for the oligarchy, duopoly, and all other shit. This is not for them. Not for them. So anyway, just go there and take a look at it. It's good stuff. I want to say, listen, everyone, thank you for listening. Thank you for paying attention. Again, check the video before this because we kind of go over this real quick. And it's something you guys will need to pay attention to. You know, I'm trying, like I always do. Like I always said, when all my shows, I've done like 70 blog talk radio shows. I'm on 350 something now YouTube shows. I've been on a couple other shows. I've done a lot. My goal, like Stevie, and this is why we're so close, and why we're kind of a united front. A couple just doing what we can. I want to save the planet, you know, and I want to save all of its inhabitants. That's my core. And if that's your core and you care not just about yourself but others and the planet, then I think we'll be good. But if that's not your core, then you don't deserve to be in office. You don't deserve to be a public servant. You don't deserve to be you need some definitely you definitely need to have some training or coaching, let's just say. All right, nobody's gonna hurt you for it. It's just maybe you just don't get it yet. I mean, I just want my kids and your kids to be able to go to the same rivers, lakes, oceans, mountains, dirt, dig, do the things I used to do that some places you can't anymore. Honestly, some places you can't anymore. You actually have to. They've blocked off these areas, these places. It's sad, but there's a lot of stuff we got to do. Thank you very much for watching. Aloha, everybody. Mahalo. Thanks you for being here, and please do what you can to support Party Exodus or our show. Look, we'll do what we can to keep our content coming. If you guys want to click in one of our shows or this one, there's a Venmo and a PayPal. Anything helps. Anything helps to keep us moving and growing. Because I got to pay for these lights to be on for this. I got to pay for my cable. I got to pay for the research that I do and that she does. It helps us keep you guys informed. And as I always say, take it as a grain of salt. If it kind of gets you in a certain way where you want to, I don't know about that, then do some research for it. Don't take my word for it. Do your own research, like I always say. All right? Take care. Take care. Do your own research, but know where you're getting your research. Oh, somebody wants to say hello.
I was just saying bye.
All right, bye, guys. Thank you for watching. Aloha.